I want to say something before we get underway about the tape never lies. Okay, so I know that there's a million, no, there's a billion podcasts and a lot of people talking about NFL and talking about the Bears. But let me just say that you really, if you are a viewer of Tape Never Lies, don't go anywhere else. Come right here. And the reason why is because Dr. Phil and the smartest man to ever live is going to tell you like it is. And so sometimes you'll go over here and I'll go over here and you'll hear this rhetoric over here, over there. Whittle it down. What I would say is ESPN Chicago, because I'll put myself over and I'll put ESPN 1000 over. But I think that we have to start whittling it down, man, because when you get these 10 or 15 sources, it muddles your mind on exactly what's truth and what's not. The Tape Never Lies network is about the truth.
Our Bears fandom is united by a history long forgotten and a future we shall face together. I am Optimus Prime, and I send this message so that our pasts will always be remembered. For in those memories, we live on with our next quarterback, Caleb Williams.
Discipline, passion, determination, perseverance, those things in a player are going to be critical. Once we identify those players that fit our culture, we're going to label them with a bear on their tag, and they're going to stand out like a sore thumb because those are the type of players we want to set the foundation here.
You sure about that? I'll make him an offer he can't refuse. Forget about it.
It's the draft mob, the draft mob. It's the draft mob, the draft mob. It's the draft mob. We on the job. Blog boys show respect to this thing of ours. It's the draft mob, the draft mob. It's the draft mob, the draft mob. It's the draft mob. We on the job. Blog boys show respect to this thing of ours. Yeah, it's DDP and the smartest man with the draft analysis for the Bears fans. And the Bears nerd coming with his stats and binders. The tape never lies, draft prospect finder. Draft analyze this, draft analyze that. We got a left tackle and a quarterback. It's Poe's trade and all the fans are waiting. It's the offseason, that's the only reason. It's the draft mob, the draft mob. It's the draft mob, the draft mob. It's the draft mob. We on the job. Blog boys show respect to this thing of ours. It's the draft mob, the draft mob. It's the draft mob, the draft mob. It's the draft mob. We on the job. Blog boys show respect to this thing of ours. Chicago Bears, old mafioso. We need some earners, wide receiver burners. Pose better find them players, mentors. Cause we need more offensive scores. Our rivals all swimming with the fishes on the lake shore. You seen it before. Can Ryan Pose build through the draft. Eberflus bringing hits with the defensive craft. It's the draft mob, the draft mob. It's the draft mob, the draft mob. It's the draft mob. We on the job. Block boys show respect to this thing of ours.
Forget about it. Forget about it.
Yes, the happy song.
We're all happy now.
We're all happy. We're all happy again. And that's what we do here. And it was, 3 minutes long, even though we'll have one clown boy already. There he is. You win the prize, Camel Toe Inspector. With a name like that, you should get a prize.
That's right.
Get thrown out of the whole thing. Great
the draft mob
song.
Is back, Phil.
Cool Kennedy with the lyrics and the beats, and Draft Mob is back. We've opened up a patron show, Shane.
Yeah.
To the world. A world premiere. We got What's that?
Yeah, we'll pull the curtain back a little bit and you'll see what patrons get when we do these breakdowns. We got a couple of guests we're going to roll out here while we're rolling the tape and talking about Notre Dame offensive tackle Joe Alt.
Yeah, we're going to break down Joe Alt tonight. And this is what we do here because we actually, honestly, no bias. Lee, is that a word?
Definitely not, but we'll roll with it.
We'll roll with it. Sounds great.
Just no bias is good. That's cool.
There's no bias.
Yeah.
We just want to analyze the draft prospects. Now, last year, we broke down all of the offensive tackles because we at TTNL identified that as a huge need at the end of the season, saying we needed to get a left tackle or a right tackle, what we're going to do, obviously center. The Bears identified the same tackle that the two gentlemen that are going to join with us tonight also identified as the guy to go to. And we broke down all of the tackles last year and came away with Darnell Wright. Obviously, the Bears have traded Justin Fields away. And just like we had said, that was the plan. And it's just there. And now, obviously, at number one, it's going to be Caleb Williams. It's not even a surprise. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, don't even. It's not even a. Greg Bragg sent out a tweet this morning, said "Rise and Shine" with a picture of Caleb Williams, and who was one of the first ones to retweet it was Caleb Williams' father, Carl.
You mean the guy that does?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Yeah. You know how that
job,
goes.
Greggy Sunshine. Rise and sunshine.
Rise and sunshine.
But we wanted to open up because this is what we do with our patrons. And yes, we went live, obviously. Justin Fields. I just wanted to address on and then bring our guests out, talk about the quarterback thing, and then really dive into Joe Alt. But there's a lot of frauds out there. Let's just be honest. There's a lot of them. They don't watch tape. They have a narrative, and it's okay to be a fan. But when you're a fan, you're not an analyst. You have to remove the two.
That's right.
You can put that over there and say, I want the best for the Bears, and then sit here and appropriately undress everything that goes on with the Bears first, then assess what's next. And that just doesn't happen. And it became so divisive, and it's still continuing to happen. It's a shame that we live in that kind of world where people that are frauds all of a sudden get these, I don't know, what we call it, Shane, like these followings, and they just tap into what
there's a lot of crazy people out there, man. I mean, I continue to say, I get fired up with it too, but I'm still going to maintain that the internet's a big place. There's room for everybody.
I totally agree.
You know, Baskin Robbins has 32 flavors, and so does the NFL podcast game. So if you don't want to watch us, you don't like our style, then it's pretty simple. Go someplace else. Don't care. See ya.
Or listen to Jonathan Hood.
Yeah.
Block out all the micros. Listen to our guys. I know Cap and Hood will be fired up tomorrow. I know Courtney Cronin's fired up.
I guess so.
Cap is fired up. I know all of the people that we really root for that didn't lie and say they had sources that weren't. I mean, this was the thing I wanted to say, is that when Ryan Poles spoke, Shane,
he
said he's been working on this trade for weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
2 days, weeks.
And it's almost like people can't believe that an NFL GM is going to go up to a podium and pretend like he doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh, you see what he said? See what he said? Yeah. You know, he's playing both sides of the fence, not to show his hand, right? No, don't do that. He's going to get up there and just speak truths. And oh, by the way, I want to do right by Justin, he said. Ian Rappaport also came out today and said that the Bears were offered more than what they got from the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Justin and his group didn't want to go to those other places. They chose Pittsburgh. That's where Ryan Poles sent him. And as a fan, you can look at that one of two ways. You can say, it's bullshit. We don't care about Justin. You get whatever you can get, the highest amount of compensation possible. There's also a business aspect to this. Justin Fields' agent, David Mulata, is a power broker in the NFL game. You want to make him mad? You want to turn off his clients? No, of course not. So they got a 6th. They probably could have got a 5th, maybe even a 4th. We'll see how this plays out. But it's over. Justin Fields is a Pittsburgh Steeler. Good luck, Justin. I hope you have a long, fruitful, productive career. Chicago Bears, TTNL. We turn the page just like we did months ago when we saw the writing on the wall. We're not flip-flopping. We told you we've been steady in what we're preaching.
We took the anger, the frustration. We took it all. We put our face to it. We didn't sit on a pulpit of shit and talk up to an empty narrative of lies that most of these people are, and they're still running their mouths about us. As Shane said, they're mad. How do you say it, Shane?
They're big mad.
They hate us because
they hate us because they ain't us. Yeah,
they
and
hate us
that's fine.
And that's good.
Yeah,
because the things that we try to do here is keep it truthful, analytical, comical, and entertaining. All those things happen without a script. I have no idea what I'm going to say when I jump on the show, but I know we needed to address it again because it needed to be addressed.
Yeah.
Because I was obviously out when the news broke and Shane calls me and I'm like, he's like, are you ready? I'm like, what? I got 4 kids in the car bowling, coming back from bowling. You ready? I go, for what? They did it. They traded him to Pitt. And I just exploded and erupted because you know what? You want the best for Justin. It didn't work here. It is what I said. It really goes back to, you believe in the analysis and the film work you do. I've always said this to you. There's no fucking hot takes here. There's just going to be the truth. And if I thought Justin Fields was the answer, I would be the voice screaming the loudest from the top of the mountains. But because I'm constantly breaking and cutting down tape, whether people are at McDonald's, they're at the library, they're living their lives. My wife's looking at me. I can't believe you're watching these shitty Bears and you're cutting that tape. I go, I got a job to do. And that's why our patrons support us the way they do, because I want to be an informed, analytical mind for you. And I came away with Justin is average to below. That's what it was. Bears have a lot of blame.
100%.
Justin has a lot of blame. 100%. At the end of the day, the best thing to do is what your GM did in the Chicago Bears. Now, you can turn around and be Judge Dredd and point finger. They got screwed. F Poles. On Monday, you were like, Poles has a plan. Just watch. But today, you say F them. You just don't understand football.
Yeah, there's people out there changing their allegiance, from the Bears to Pittsburgh. And listen, that's all for dramatic effect, just like their little meltdowns this entire time were. And if you truly feel like that, you shouldn't even have to put that on social media. Just go. Just leave.
Just
if it means that much to you.
Cheer for the Steelers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Follow Justin to the Steelers. Best of luck to you. Listen, there's been times I can't be a Bears fan. This is hard. What did I do to myself? What did I do to my kids? Right? Yeah. But there's no way I can get away from it. Right. It's like, I can't. I have to watch my Bears. I have to watch them become winners. And you know what? For the first time in my life, this is the best quarterback I've ever scouted, that the Chicago Bears now won the lottery and are able to obtain him on draft night. It's going to be an epic turn of events. Yes, some people can fan how you want to fan. I'm not telling you how. But don't be an asshole. That's it. That's my line. Don't attack people. Don't manipulate truths and lies and create stats and tell you, I know I have now you're backpedaling like you're Deion Sanders, swiftly going backwards like a clown. It's ridiculous. You said what you said. Own it. You were wrong. There's plenty of them out there. Plenty of them. Speaking of not being wrong, let's bring our guys out that were in the back as Shane and I ranted. There he is, the former Chicago Bear himself. Big Steve Edwards is in the house tonight.
What's going on with you?
What's up, man?
Nothing, man. I had to change my location, man. My internet's active. I had to go to the front room, so.
Shane hates your internet.
Yeah, man. I was sitting backstage. It was already coming in like, yeah. I'm like, no, I've changed location. So me and Phil had a long discussion about what I need to do because I'm moving into a new house here soon. So I'm going to have to do a whole research and investigation to get that stuff right. But yeah, here I am. Everything seems fine so far.
Perfect.
Then we got the Hall of Famer, Coach O, my pops. And it's so a pleasure to have the opportunity to have your dad on a show with you, breaking down football, the Bears. And this is what we do on the patron side. Dad, welcome back to the show. I know you're excited tonight. I know you heard me and Shane ranting a little bit tonight. We're fired up.
Well, you should be. I mean, after we watched that film together, I mean, for 3 hours, we watched, 4 games of this kid, Williamson. I mean, he's a great quarterback. I mean, there's no question about it. I was taken back. And then I was also looking at the other quarterbacks, and I really feel like Shane does now. McCarthy's the guy that New England should take.
He always brings it. He always will bring it back to New England.
What am I going to do? I'm a fan, you know?
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Minnesota, I know, is trying to trade up. They're talking to. Rumor is they're trying to get up to 3 or 4, so Minnesota can take JJ McCarthy. But we'll see how that unfolds.
Well, it's going to be interesting, obviously, how the quarterbacks fall, but also. I know we announced it to our patrons, but now we announce it to the world.
Yeah.
Our guy, Big Steve Edwards, is going to be a part of the TTNL network, have his own show on Mondays here called The Bear Down with Big Steve. He'll be addressing you, the fan, have some guests, former teammates on talking Chicago.
There you go. Yep, I like it.
Joining Chris Zorich, the other Bear that's on our network. So 2 former Bears on the network with us. I'm excited, Steve, to have you on the network with us and what you're going to add to the analysis and all of the information. I know you have been simmering to speak on Justin Fields and the trade and all that. And, you can give a little appetizer. I know you wanted to say something, and then we'll get into the tape of truth. As my dad said, it's a
nice meeting you, Steve.
Hey, Coach O. Hey, I was waiting for my opportunity to say what's up, Coach O. I ain't seen him. I ain't been on here with Coach O since we broke down offensive alignment last year.
That's right. That's
Coach O, I know I ain't seen you in a while, but it looked like you got a fresh haircut or something, man. You looking good, man.
He went to the barber.
Man, he looking sharp.
It looks good, Dad.
What's that?
It looks good.
Yeah, well, the heck, I'm going to be 84. I hope I look good.
You just don't want to piss Coach O off. Sometimes he gets a little fired up.
So you shit in your hat and get the hell off the field.
Yes,
you just can't be like a marshmallow out there.
That's right.
Yeah,
I would have loved to play for Coach O, man. I tell you that. I would have loved to play for Coach O, just to break it down, film his knowledge. It'd have been awesome, man.
Well, we had a lot of fun last year. Like I said in the intro, I don't know if you heard me, Steve, but clearly the work that we did fell in line with what Ryan Poles said. I know you even talked to Poles about the other tackle my dad loved, Daquan Jones. Who ended up going to the Cleveland Browns and ended up becoming a starter out of the 4th or 5th. I forget where. I think he went in the 4th round.
4th round, yeah.
4th round out of Ohio State. Ended up being a starter for the Browns until he got hurt. So again, the analysis here we stand by. And now, obviously, with Caleb Williams, it's a country mile difference, Caleb Williams to the next guy. So anybody in the chat that has this attitude about it, I'm just letting you know we've done the work. If you're not a patron, jump in thetapeneverlies.com, become a patron. You can watch all of the show. We broke down Jaden Daniels, Drake May, obviously Caleb Williams, as my dad said, as he's getting that phone call. Got that old man ringtone.
No, just to talk about, I didn't, I'm going to really dig into it, man, but it's just, we knew it was coming, that the denial stage, I call it stage 2 of this, after we've dealt with the actual trade, the denial of the trade, and the placing blame. You're hearing, all we got was a 6, and it's as clear as day he was shopping them. He's, and I told Phil, like, send me over with Pole's sake, because I got to flash that tomorrow. That they were shopping them all along. Poles has been sealed tight with his information, so he had Adam Schefter and Rappaport. They always trying to guess what he was doing, so nobody knew. He was shopping them the whole time, and nobody wanted to come off a 2nd or 3rd for him. And at the end of the day, we gave him we took a 6 or a possibility of 4th, but we also put Justin in probably the best situation. So which are you a Justin Fields fan, and you're not happy that he's in a good situation, and the realization there was no higher pick than that? All the wait, we could have waited it out. You could have kept him on the same team as it was all just getting ridiculous, and the IQs of Bears fan nation is is really tarnished a little bit. And if any of these people think that they're looking for the downfall of Caleb Williams, you're not a Bears fan then. If you're already because I'm hearing already, they're going right back. They're going right back to how he dresses. They're talking about his nails. It's just the insanity in which I'm going. It's so much. I need to put it all down on paper, and I just want to attack it because it's all so silly. But they're hypocrites. People are being hypocritical, and I think it doesn't fare well for how Bears fans look. A portion of Bears fans are looking really, really silly right now. And there was never no hate on Justin. It was never no hate for me on Justin. Like I said, I met the guy. He's a great guy. Cheer for him from the beginning. We all were happy when he got drafted. Yeah, did he not get the best shake? No. But at the end of the day, you got to analyze what we had out here. You had to look at what we had, regardless of the circumstances, and it was clear he was missing people downfield. He can't see the field. His mechanics, his elongated arm release. You're 3 in the NFL. If he hasn't fixed that release, man, when is he going to fix it? He had 3 off seasons to get it done. That's his mechanics. That's how he operates. And let me tell you, as an offensive lineman, somebody who has elongated release like that, that's not going to help. We used to complain about guys patting the ball with good releases, but pat the ball because they were indecisive. We're not even talking about him patting the ball. We're talking about elongated release. That's something that is going to be really hard to fix in this point in his career. And they want to blame the offensive line. And you hear, like most people, saying this is an improving offensive line. We're not there yet, obviously. We're improving, but everybody still likes to go back when they're protecting Justin that it's an absolutely trash offensive line. So what is it? Pick something. They just all over the place when it comes to protecting him, and I don't understand why they're so protective of something that hasn't produced any wins for us. Because at the end of the day, it's wins and losses, man. and he obviously hasn't got that done. A backup quarterback that was undrafted from a Division II school came out and got 2 victories for us. So, I mean, everywhere you could point, there's your argument is this falling short because you're not making it about football, you're making it about other things. So that's what is kind of getting upsetting. And now I think it's more upsetting is how everybody's reacting now. You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm
they
going to
first
try to
said it
see if they
wasn't
get some
gonna
time, but
happen.
I think people are stuck in their ways, and it's really so strange. It's a strange thing. And the national media is playing off of it. They're playing off the clicks. Robert Griffin Jr.,
Oh my
his
God,
takes
he's
are
embarrassing.
terrible, but he's
Embarrassing.
playing off of you guys because he knows you. It's so contentious with these guys who follow Justin Fields as fanboys. He's playing off of you guys. You know what I mean? The
100%.
national media is playing
100%.
around for you guys so you could go in their stuff and like that and get the clicks. Y'all not getting it. You're not getting the false. I really don't. I know you don't get it because you guys look at any fake news that comes out here and don't go back and do your research on the sources. When I saw that thing drop with Justin Fields traded, I said, hold on, let me check. I went through all my, is that the fake Adam Schefter or who is this? Like, I wanted to
Thank
know.
God I got the call from Shane.
Yeah. Once I kind of went through my little source checklist, which is not very extensive. It doesn't take long for me to figure it out that it was real. But you guys look at anything that was put out here and jump on it. And it started early. So it's kind of silly, man. And it's disappointing. I hope people turn around. I hope people get behind the Chicago Bears, the team that you're supposed to grow up rooting for. I hope you get back behind them because you do have a good general manager who's making big boy moves. Has it been perfect? No general manager is perfect, but we got a guy who's going to drop his nuts and make big time decisions when he has to.
He did.
And they're like, he got fleeced. Come on, man. You guys are looking real silly right now. I wish Justin the best, but you guys are really making
the same guy that got
it's terrible, man.
The same guy that got fleeced got the #1 pick in the draft by not having to do one damn thing for it. So
yeah. Got us in the position that we're in right now. That first and the 9. Come on.
And you got Keenan Allen and
that
Montez Sweat.
Say whatever you want about the entire process.
Yeah.
The absolute second they traded for Keenan Allen. That was the mic drop of all mic drops. A guy's game is based off precision and timing in Keenan Allen, an elite route runner. That is not Justin Fields. There's nothing about Justin Fields that is based off precision and timing. That's not. He essentially erases everything that Keenan Allen does well. When that trade was consummated a few nights ago, that was the ender. We knew it was over for a long time, but I think that really started the shift with a lot of people that were saying, oh, this is a smoke screen with polls. He's trying to imagine saying he's trying to prop up the value of the #1 pick. Nobody can go above you. There's no pick above that. It's valuable no matter who's there. And it was more valuable this year because of Caleb Williams. Because why? That's how good he is. It's not that hard to figure out. And when Phil is right, you have to remove emotion. If you want to go watch somebody break down tape, but they tell you on social media that they're not going to be negative towards a player because they're currently on the Bears, then what do you do? What are you wasting your time for? I mean, Steve, can you imagine going in on a Tuesday morning after a big loss and Harry Heastand is in there? Is like, yeah, I don't want to hold you guys accountable because you're on my team. Right? You know what I mean?
No, I mean,
crazy.
Yeah. Imagine my players coming in and my dad saying, listen, we're not going to criticize our guard and our center. They can't handle that.
Phil, you want popsicle?
Yeah. Would you like one?
The thing is, they basically, it's like we're just handcuffed. They're just gonna ruin, you know what I mean? It's just, you don't see that, hey, you got to keep taking your shots at the quarterbacks. We don't know what Caleb is going to work out, but hey, all signs show that this is the absolute best option in the last 2 years that was coming out, the number one quarterback. And you are giving the golden nugget, the golden ticket.
I've got a golden ticket.
And we just sitting there, we're gonna like just pass it up. I guarantee you'll be more sick if this dude, we pass that guy up and he goes ball than giving Justin away. He does whatever he does in Pittsburgh, which I hope is good. I think you'll be more sick about the prospects of this guy. You look really stupid. Poles is he's a general manager for a reason. And you guys are not who are Justin. There's no friendships in this game.
Real quick.
And it's a freaking business.
Exactly.
There's no love affairs.
People hate to hear that, but it works on both ends. It's a business when a guy says, nah, I'm leaving you guys to get more money over there. And it's a business when the GM says, no, we're getting rid of you because we paid you too much and you didn't. It goes both ways, bro. It goes both ways, and you have to do and make the right decisions. Caleb Williams, I don't throw this out there. I don't say this is the best I've ever scouted, and I've scouted all the way back to Peyton Manning and Leaf times. I don't just throw that out there. Dad, you came on the show, like you said, with me and Shane and watched several games of him. You were like, oh my God, this kid, and this is game tape. This isn't watching highlights, and you're going to see what we do here. We can't hear you, Dad. Oh, he's
on mute. There we go.
Go ahead.
He's on mute again.
Someone muted him. Can you talk? Yeah,
there you go. Now
there you go. There you go.
They muted me.
Yeah.
No,
Jeez, Coach, you've been talking too much. The first 32 minutes, you never shut up. We had to mute you.
I'll tell you, watching that film, it was kind of enlightening. I mean, I hadn't seen a quarterback throw a ball like that.
Right.
I mean, from every position. Mahomes did it when he became a Chief. I don't think he was that way when he was in college. This kid's in college. This is his junior year. And he's throwing the ball he made a few mistakes, like everybody's gonna, but he is terrific. He's terrific. And the other thing that he had, which you can't count out, he's got speed.
He's
Very
an underrated runner.
Best of both worlds here. I mean, you got a quarterback that is going to move out of the pocket, and the play's still alive. And if he's got great receivers with him,
which he does,
then you're going to have it.
Now, Dad, the Bears, I don't know. Did you see that the Bears traded for Keenan Allen from the Chargers?
Yes.
So now you got DJ Moore, who I know you absolutely love.
I love that guy.
And they have Keenan Allen.
Tape, I said, oh, my God, you got this guy? Yeah. Boy, this is going to help.
Oh, my God. What Ryan Poles has done, Steve Edwards, this offseason, is get DeAndre Swift at running back, who is a field flipper. He can get a crease and be gone in an instant. That's his skill set. He got great hands, good vision, but his elite skill is swift speed through the secondary and just blazing past people. So he can change the game in a second. And when you have a quarterback, like my dad says, threatens edges, but can throw immediately and accurately, like we see with this release, now Swift becomes a even greater weapon because the mesh is a give or is it a pull? Is DJ Moore running the post? Is Allen running a slot route and getting the options that this quarterback and these skill set we have not seen? We have not. And then you add Cole Kmet and then my guy, bro. My guy, the tight end. This dude, Gerald Everett, will square his freaking shoulders and drop pads on a mother effer and just truck people for y'all. I cannot tell you what these guys, I mean, Ryan Poles, I don't know how anyone's hating on him. He did exactly what he said he would do. When he came out, you heard Jonathan Hood on the show last week. I clipped that when he said it on ESPN 1000. Credit to him. when your GM comes out and said, we're going to do right by Justin Fields, we're going to do right by, that doesn't mean we're going to do right and keep him. We're going to find him a home because we're taking Caleb Williams.
So let's get into this.
Yeah, let's get into
Gotta
it.
give him a lot of credit for that.
You can answer this from
let's
Robert
do this.
McGraw, $10.
Sorry.
Looking forward to more draft
Super
coverage.
chat.
With the draft mob, since we don't have a second round pick, do you see a scenario where the Bears do what Houston did last year and actually move up from 9? I mean, I think that there is a scenario where that could happen, Robert. I know I talked about it a little bit. I just don't think it's probable at all, because I mean, you have a team right behind you in Minnesota that's quarterback hunting. The Giants are in the quarterback market. And they're right there. And right now, Minnesota has the 11th pick, the 23rd pick in the first round to go up. So I myself,
this
can't.
Is the only thing I could see. They would go the other way.
Yeah, but
they would go back.
He's specifically talking about. Probably what he's alluding to is.
I don't think they're going after Marvin Harrison Jr. I would just say.
It's fun to think about. I just don't think. I think it's pretty much a pipe dream at this point. And let's not forget, you only have 4 picks in this draft, and you had you would have to start pulling from the coffer next year, where you have Carolina's second round pick. So I don't think they will, because Shane, I think our analysis, and we're going to get into it. Shout out to my guy Ivan Vargas, who helps cut tape here too. Neighbors and Romeo Odunze. Yeah.
How far are they from it? The Hall of Fame hype is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're not putting people in the hall at wide receiver. Stop.
Right.
Ridiculous.
Exactly. But our guy Jeremy Anastasi, $9.99, didn't see your question in there, Jeremy. Put it back in the chat and just put a star starting off the question, and we'll make sure and get it answered for you. But with that being said, let's
throw in your super chats. I promise you we will get into them, and we are going to break down. Steve, we're going to have to put your cartoon image up there, Steve, at some point. We're going to get into this tape. Joe Alt, the Joe Alt tape. Of course, my wires are crossed. Let's see. So here he is, Joe Alt, left tackle. Dad, you got tight end wing.
Yep.
We got a goal line front here early in the game here. They're playing Ohio State. So anytime you guys want to jump in, obviously, that's what we do here. Steve, inside zone.
Yeah. And once a real quick point, here we are again with another Harry Hested coached offensive line. He just continues to produce NFL talent. He's just one of the best offensive line coaches in the game, college or pro. Seemingly always has somebody coming out of this Notre Dame program going in the first round. And the right tackle, too, is coming out, too. I forget his name. So you guys know his name. He's also going to be a guy I'm going to kind of be peeking at. Kind of similar what we did to Ohio State last year. We were looking at Paris Johnson, and we kept on having to look over. I don't know if he's going to be like the guy from Ohio State, DeJuan, but we had to keep peeking over there. It became a DeJuan tape, but our right tackle here, number 54, I forget his name. I actually
Dane will get it for you. So look
Fisher.
at both of them.
I'm sorry, Fisher. I thought I said it. Talking about Blake Fisher, yeah.
Blake Fisher. So we'll look at both. Look at that. 2-4.
Well, the first shot that you got, the thing I always impressed you about, Phil, was anytime you step down, you eventually get your shoulder square. That was the last play with them, but with the wing, tight end wing.
You want to go back to that?
Well, I just, yeah.
All right,
good to explain what I'm talking about.
While you're running that backfield, just a quick update. And I know Coach O likes to hear these. So Coach Joe Alt is 6'9", 321 pounds,
6'9",
34 and a quarter.
I thought he was 6'8".
Yeah, they have him officially listed at 6'9" on the draft now.
Is that the combine number?
That's directly from the combine.
Nobody sent me that number.
Yeah,
like literally, I'm sitting here
but
with
30,
no 6'8",
34.25-inch arms, 10-inch hands, 505 40, 173 10-yard split, 28-inch vert, 9'4" broad jump, 731 3-cone, 451 short shuttle, 27 reps, and just turned 21 years old.
Oh my God!
Former tight end
at 5'5",
former tight end.
5'5".
So he's very, very young in his offensive
He's
tackle.
talented.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got a mean edge to him too, like Big Steve likes. He's got that Olin Kreutz in him.
Well, go ahead and shoot. Watch.
So here it is. You see him step down.
Now watch him square his shoulders up, no matter what the second step is going to be. See him square up?
Yeah. Deliver that blow.
Now he's still going to block the outside shoulder, which he did.
Now he drives him over here. You got to keep an eye on. So you could see there's a tenacity, a finisher in him.
And the key we the thing I like to see when guys get connected, when you're coming off on a guy, can you drive? Can you wrench him out of his spot and remove him from that area?
Steve, here he is in a mirror drill, basically. Watch him mirror and pass. So they do a late stunt. He passes and then recoil. I mean, that's pretty good.
Good arm extension coming around.
Anytime you go to one gap to the next, you got to expect somebody to come in return. And that's what he does.
He does a good job.
If you look at those two tackles, they kind of just look mirror images, how they just power step down, and they both look really good at that.
Let's watch
Great
Fisher
technique.
here. Fisher kick slides, mirrors, doesn't track. Steve, he doesn't get foiled in there waiting.
Yeah.
So you're really recognizing good coaching, to your point. He stays here with that outside
shoulder square. Because when you do power down like that, if you turn those shoulders slightly to the inside, and somebody wraps around like that, that's when they can get you. If you keep your shoulders square, somebody wraps around, you're in great position to intercept them.
Great stuff in regards to that. Obviously, we got a lot of. I can speed this up until you guys ask me to slow it so you can see it. Here he is, mesh. You see him up the field, Dad. Great feet from a stance.
Good long arm.
Anytime you're going to throw a quick pass like that, you want to have the defensive lineman put his hands down. So that's why he went out after him.
Yeah, he didn't wait. I'll bring it back there so they could see that. He doesn't wait.
Hands down. You want your hands down. So he attacks him.
Yeah, great set over there by Blake. That's if you want to, like your dad said, Coach O, you want to attack somebody that's feet underneath you. That's textbook right there.
The 2-for-1 tonight. 2-for-1 special. I mean, you could see he's got the physical body.
Yeah, I think he has a lot of confidence because
Oh, look at him get to the second level.
That was pretty fucking. That was pretty good. He didn't turn his shoulders back on that.
Yeah.
Some people had the tendency when the guy loops out like that to turn their body. It's obviously an advantage. He's had really long arms, but he keeps those shoulders square. Great job, just tracking.
That was really good.
Level.
They miss it on the backside, the cutoff, but he does it. I mean, you could just see the tight end. I mean, look at that. So again, he gets square and comes back to that middle linebacker.
Yeah, you see the little nastiness right there. It's the little, that's the little. I'm gonna jerk you, just throw your ass. Blake over here. I want to know what his arm length is. Is it Shane? You got anything?
He's got it.
He looks like he's got really long arms.
34 and a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's tying his shoes without bending over, Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, patient. Gets a little high.
Okay. Yeah. One thing I'm noticing, he could be a little bit better with his hand striking. We remember we talked about Bates and his aggressive. One thing that you can stands out against with Bates of Buffalo, he had good hand strike. Right there, I want to see him.
Yeah, he's
in
not
the
striking,
NFL.
he's
He's going to
catching.
have to get more aggressive with his hands. He's not going to be able to take those guys on like that and just puts his. That's when he's going to run into trouble. He's going to have a little more aggressive, strong hands, strong punch.
That one, he falls down. You'll see him here. See it? He gets out over his feet. Again, we always show the good and bad here. We don't do a highlight film. We want to see and show you the good and the bad. There's no perfect prospect. As Steve Edwards said, there's no perfect offensive lineman. You're going to make mistakes.
There's a little bit of the same thing you kind of see from him where he's not really utilizing that punch.
He's catching.
Yeah, he's catching like Coach O. You see right there, you're not going to be able to play that game in the NFL. So that's going to be something that he gets on the next level. Obviously, we got some film to watch to see if he ever, kind of uses right there. That's a good hand strike. When he gets his hands on you, he's got long arms. He's got good athleticism, keep his body just really long guy. So if he adds that good punch, you're done right there.
He's got his ass is down, his back is flat. He's doing exactly what I want to see. Controlling that outside.
Help over there with Blake. I don't know what happened with him, but
I'll watch Blake now.
A little good. He got a little chip help. But he seemed like he was on his guy out there. Good. It's fun to watch Harry Hestead. Like it's just you just see so much of the stuff that I learned from him. Out of all the offensive line coaches that I had, he was definitely a difference maker. Wish you had him early in your career. He's that good. Okay,
the
good
Bears with Nagy had to fire him.
Yeah, and see right there, man. And you go against these guys with these long arm stabs. If you have that long reach, we talked about last year when we were breaking down Northwestern's. Forget the guy, the prospect for Northwestern last year, and we were saying
Skoronski.
Peter Skoronski.
Yeah, he's a guard. He's not a tackle. His short arms are not going to allow him to deal with those long arm stabs coming off the edge.
Steve, just real quick, if you can talk about what it would mean, I think it's unlikely he falls to 9, but just talk about potentially adding him. He would be next to Tevin Jenkins along on the line with a guy like Darnell Wright. All three guys, the same demeanor. They're not these guys that are just want to they want to put these guys through the ground. And as an offensive lineman, the more of those guys that you can have, the better it is for your offense overall. But just talk about pairing him with a guy like Tevin Jenkins to his right side.
Yeah, it's just you just start adding, you start getting a like mind along that offensive line of guys who, are not only just athletic, and really skillful at the position technique wise, but when they start bringing the attitude with it, that starts to change the dynamic of that offensive line in that group. Because at the end of the day, offensive line groups are the workman's, the work ethic guys on the team. We're going to bring the hard hats and we lead the way, and you want that group. That's your identity of your offense. So you getting a guy like that. Not only are you looking at a potential all-pro guy on the edge on one of your bookends, you start seeing the change. Forget a receiver, forget anything else. When you start getting the offensive line at that level, that's when it doesn't matter. You can start you can start filling in the pieces. Otherwise, obviously you need the quarterback, but You start doing that stuff like that. You're able to get a guy at this level, it changes your room right away, especially what we have as far as some of those guys with that nasty demeanor.
Yeah, you're right there, Steve. This guy here, if you're not looking for a quarterback, he's tempting to get. Really, he's big, strong, tough. You got to
great right there.
You got to consider that guy.
Right.
Yeah.
You might not make the what's it, 9? Is that what you have, the 9?
Yes.
Yep, the 9th pick.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to fall there, and we'll talk about that. That's why we do this, because you're really picking at 9. When you pop out like this, Steve, and Coach, you are really asking your left tackle to hold down a whole fortress of areas to attack.
Yeah, look at the two-way go. The guy has a two-way go, meaning he could go inside or outside, guys. He can go inside or outside. That guy's able to shut the door down on that. He shut the lid on that. He tries to go and look at it. Sometimes good offensive linemen, you can be in a bad position like this, but his freakish long arm and athletic ability allows him to recover.
Watch him recover.
Sometimes it's about the recovery.
Look at him post and keep this right arm out there.
Yeah, he's got the arm. He gets back to
that's an athlete, man.
So some guys get in that position, it's a done deal.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I see it right away. He's got great feet. Great feet.
Great feet.
Yeah. Well, this is the former tight end. He came to Notre Dame as a tight end coach and actually played very, very little there, but he's 2,200 snaps at Notre Dame in 3 seasons at left tackle. But when you say that he's an athlete, that's exactly.
And a guy like that is still developing. I'll talk about his hands could be more aggressive.
How about the name Lane Johnson? You remember that guy?
Oh, yeah.
Same type of deal.
Yeah.
Well, your potential ends at 28.
Yeah.
So
you look at
he's going to be 21, 22 years old when he's in the NFL.
Yeah.
You
look at
24 years old, he's going to have the strength a lot stronger than he is right now.
Oh yeah. And he
no
just
offense against the guys like myself who grew up as an offensive lineman, but it's pretty cool when you get these guys that played other positions, like even Jason Kelsey. I didn't really know that this guy was a running back coming out of high school, and here he is, a potential Hall of Fame player, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be in the Hall.
Oh, he's a Hall of Famer.
He's gonna be in the Hall.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Nice.
Look at that.
Beautiful. Just butting. We call that I like to call that the butting hook. You go right up the middle of the guy, butt him up, hook him.
I mean, to be able to seal that is the key.
And his arms just give him an extra advantage. The extension, and he's got the power there. So, and you got to think about sometimes it's overblown about the bench press. Yeah, he got 28. That's pretty strong for a guy with really long arms that.
Yeah,
because it's easy for a guy that got turtle arms that can push up 40 reps, but a guy who's got long arms like that, who's able to get 28 reps, that's pretty strong.
This is a great rep here. I mean, a delay. So look, he eyeballs the linebacker. This is Eisenberg. His brother played at Notre Dame, right? And that got drafted.
Eichenberg.
Yeah. Look at him eyeball. He's eyeballing his target. This is a good football player. Watch what he does. He attacks Steve. He gets right in with those long friggin' arms. He's driving him over here.
Yeah, but what he did before that is he put his hand on the down lineman playing 3 or 2, whatever it was, and made sure that
some of his recovery
was slammed towards him. So he punched him out and then went to the linebacker.
Punch.
Look at a little bit of his recovery. He stumbles a little bit right here, boom,
right there, and he dropped
just that little bit.
I don't see 6'9" dudes do that.
Yeah, you see more 6'9" guys be really super clumsy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and look very stiff. This guy looks really fluid.
Lurchy.
Yeah. He's got good hip drop, good flexible hips.
Again,
Just
the
like I said,
only
he
thing
needs
is
to just
when
work on a little more punch. A little punch right there.
little
He's a little
punch.
top heavy, overextended up top.
You know what he's going to learn from experience. The first guy that's got great speed.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Dad, you love this right here. So he's got this.
I was talking, but now I know what he did. He knocked that guy to A gap.
Wow, no, he knocks him to this A gap over here. Watch
this. That's the one I meant. Holy mackerel!
Oh my God!
Let's just forget about our boy Blake Fisher back here. Just excellent angle. Now he kind of loses it. I wish he would have just kept working that angle on the backside, but he shot out a cannon right here. I don't know where he's projected. I'm curious of where he's projected. I'm thinking,
fourth
he's
round.
Got to be projected second round, third round, perhaps.
About Fisher,
right there.
Fisher.
Yeah, he's going to be third round, early fourth.
Yeah, he's a starter in the NFL. He's a.
But again,
somebody's going to get a little steal out of him too.
Projections don't mean a whole lot this time of year because what we're saying, it takes one team.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love how
he that guy
scoop block. I mean, to do this, you have to be an athlete. He's going to
watch how he drops his butt. 6'9", drops his ass. You talk about moving. I said delodging somebody off their spot. And then again, he trips on somebody's foot and able to recover.
Jesus. That's an athlete, boy. You get a left tackle that can move like that.
I know we need a receiver, but if this guy somehow magically drops to you.
Hey Steve, just think this is Phil's.
This is my second.
This isn't even Phil's top offensive tackle.
They're two of the best tackles in this draft.
Who's your top one?
I have Penn State offensive tackle Positional.
Yeah.
We're gonna break him down too.
Yeah, that's who I love, and I haven't really saw him just in
who's that
watching the games. Obviously, it's nothing like watching this view. And people need to know real quick. This is the footage that these guys watch here on TTNL. They watch this end zone copy. This is where you're going to get this is what we're watching in the NFL. This is what we're watching at practice. We're not watching the game copy.
Right.
We're not watching highlights. You're watching this. You're watching this is the coach's footage. So this is the real deal. So for me to be able to watch these guys from this perspective, it helps you really evaluate these guys. So my boy for Penn State, I'm wanting to see how he fares up against Alt, because I think either one of those guys get there to you, you're going to have some big time discussions there, regardless how much you like Braxton Jones.
Oh, exactly. Shane has said it many a times. You don't sit there, and so is your GM. Thus, you saw what he did with the quarterback. You're always trying to get better. You're getting the 6'9" athlete protecting Caleb Williams.
Yeah. And I think he goes left tackle. If you get him, if you get Alt, he's your left tackle.
Oh God. I love how he dips in that. Just 6'9" to get low. Look at it. Look at his ass at contact. He squats and dry. Look at him. Boom. This guy's getting stood up. He's a football player, 91. But to have a left tackle be able to pass pro and drive and move, we saw him pull. Here he does a good job with his hands. Yeah. He controlled him. He was the aggressor there.
Yeah. If he jumps at you and he puts strong hands on you like we've seen, it's pretty much a done deal, because now you got to try to work your way around his arm extension and that ball's coming out. So it's almost practically. Now, I don't like that right there. The DN right there didn't really bring any umph. You're very careful about how he just places his hands. Like, let's send a fucking shock to the body.
Yeah. Here he's going to go up against Clemson now. And he obviously is turning out because they're trying to run here. They're running a cross buck type of thing where they're going to bring the wing across.
Yeah, just a little more aggressive with those hands, man. Use those big, long arms. Get that inside hand strong and wrench that guy out of there.
Well, you see, what the competition is going to make him do whatever he's got to do. That's what that guy just showed you something. The defensive guy there is putting some power into it.
Here he falls.
Yeah.
He trips over, I think it's Fisher's leg. Yeah. Or maybe the defensive tackle threw his arm in there. 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't pull, you gotta be on high alert when you're pulling down the line. There's a lot of legs and feet. So
my guy Estime. Again, he's getting on the pole. He turns back, gets a little block.
Let me tell you something. They're not running tackle counters unless you are absolutely athletic. You just don't see a lot of tackle counters. Not to knock myself, but last time I was running tackle counters, I was in JUCO and I was an All-American.
Hey. Junior college All-American.
No. They were like, no, we're not, when I was at tackle. It wasn't. You got to be super athletic, man. You got a long way to go to get down there.
Now you run tackle counter when you're going to get the beats out of your garden when you got to get around the carrots first, right, Steve?
I should show y'all my window display.
My dad could give you some tips on gardening. I'm gonna give you his number.
I got my windows. I got my seeds going. Everything is under rotation.
Got to grow the tomatoes, the basil,
the
arugula. Look at him.
Not doing it anymore.
There he does a good job. I just want to see him finish. You got all the way there. Get 0 on his butt.
What?
So where is this in relation to the season? When did they play Clemson? It's also a good identifier as we watch film, like when they played Ohio State. When was that, and when did they play Clemson? At what juncture?
Shane, check that. Check that. Clemson, Ohio State was the first game of the year.
Yeah. Okay, so we're looking at, and this one. When was this one?
Midway.
Block down. Your boy Fisher does a good job here blocking down. Get him down.
Yeah.
The only thing, he passes on 33. Or who is it? Yeah, 33, and he gets 54. Well, he identified the backer, so. I mean, definite great feet. He's got to work on his punch.
Yeah.
He had 12. He had 12 sealed. Watch, he gets them, and he just didn't swing his ass.
Yeah, just what we saw in the last game. Yeah, he just got to work his. I don't know if this is a design bounce.
It could have been.
This was November 4th.
Okay,
so this is great towards the end of the
end
of the season.
Yeah, and sometimes you're looking for, is he tired? How is he moving? At this juncture of the season. First game against Ohio State, obviously super fresh.
Yep.
That's his technique improved.
Yeah,
nice. And actually, there we go. Keep working. Press that shoulder.
Ohio State wasn't the Ohio State was game 5.
Oh, it was game 5. My bad. Sorry. Okay. I thought it was the opener.
Okay.
No, they played
Oh, I'm sorry. They played in Scotland or something.
They played Navy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Played Navy in Ireland.
That's right. Ireland.
Little holding on the jersey right there.
Yep. Here he is here, the left tackle. They're running a lot of counters in this game.
Sure do.
Yeah, they countering the hell out of Clemson.
They are trying to get those angles.
Estimate just why he's got a lot of Deontay Foreman to his game.
Doesn't he? He runs seriously, recklessly. I like Estime a lot.
That 40-time for him was,
I know, it was
horrific. I mean, it's good if you want to get him late, but
yeah, almost overset him here. But like I said, those big long arms can save you. Athleticism, able to just kind of rebalance and get himself back to the inside of the guy. All the tangibles are there. This as a top 10 prospect.
Good job there. Stuck to him. He's got the nasty. I want to see more nasty. Did a good job there.
So like I said, he just turned 21 in February, and Estime, he won't even turn 21 until September. So these are two of the
young puppies.
Yep.
Two young bucks.
Yeah.
This one, he gets driven back. This is a hell of a throw by Sam.
All things considering, he's 21. He played tight end. He's and anybody, even if you've been playing offensive line, there's a learning curve once you get to the NFL. But for this guy, it's going to be, I'm still learning how to play offensive line.
Well, it's funny, Sam Hartman, the quarterback, turns 25 in July, and Estime is still only going to be 20 years old when the NFL season starts, when he's playing for his new team.
NC State with these 3-man fronts.
That was game 3.
This is really how they do their D. I would like to go to their coaches clinic because I like the way they attack. Just watching this game tape, and there's only like about 4 more minutes in our film session tonight. If you're just tuning in, we're opening up our patron channel, giving you a inside look at some of what you get when you become a patron. We also announced that Big Steve Edwards will be a part of the Tape Never Lies Network, having his own show on Monday nights. And it should be a lot of fun. The Bear Down with Big Steve. And we're looking at Joe Alt getting you ready on Draft Mob, our first Draft Mob, official Draft Mob of the season. We got Shane Marsaw, Big Steve, Coach Atoshin, and myself here breaking down tape with you on a Sunday night. Look at him here showing the nasty. Blocking down.
It's counterplay with the tackles are not taught right. When you run a counterplay, you want to guard the kick out, and your tackle to get some more depth so he can turn up the field to get that linebacker.
Yeah,
they look like they're following each other's rear end. They're not doing it right.
Here he is here. We also have Fisher on the other side.
Yeah, as you look at him, he's used to having that reach, to be able to reach out and kind of get that extension on guys. So that's where he's not utilizing that punch. If he will be an unstoppable force if he starts utilizing that punch, and really delivering a punch. And then that's when you widen out, you keep people off of your body, you widen the pocket. You stop them. You have to, like, if you get a good punch on DN, you make them reconsider what's their move. Wherever move they had, they have to kind of reconsider. They have to go into the second. By that time, that ball should be out of there, especially if you had a guy like a Caleb Williams that's not going to be holding that thing is popping out of there. Or not elongated release or not decisive of where you're going with the ball.
Great catch by that back. Down block. He's driving them inside. Stay strong with it. Love that.
Gotta love some counter and power.
Oh, yeah. My favorite. This is a nice run here, I think. Counter. It kicks out. Watch him move for the big man. Oh, my bad. Here he is.
Nice.
They went end over. Here goes Estime, Shane. Even with his 40 time. Look at his angled run gait. Weird gait.
Yeah, that knee's flopping out.
That's why he's not running fast in the 40.
Yeah.
He's got game speed.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Time speed and game speed. Yeah.
He ran away. He ran away from everyone. There you go. The Joe Alt tape here. Let's start with you, Dad. You know, this is what we do. We want other people to know why they should become a patron. Obviously, with you, me, Steve, you being an expert offensive line coach, the guru, my guru. You know, what are your thoughts on this guy?
Well, number one, he's kind of freakish, 6'9". I mean, the last guy I saw was in New England, had that 6'9" guy from Germany. The one thing he couldn't do is drive block. He was a great pass protector, but he couldn't. This guy can do anything.
Not a problem here. Yeah, absolutely.
He is a good drive blocker. He's a good reach blocker. He's a good scoop blocker. When you're sealing down, when the play's going away from you, there's no penetration from it. This guy is the real legit number one in the first round. This guy is definitely that guy. First of all, he's going to be with you for 12 years.
Well, that's the thing, Coach, and I think that's Bears fans have to kind of broaden their outlook on this, and you have to look backwards while also looking forward. Because if you come out of the first round and your last 3 first-round picks going back to last year, you're going to have, let's just say if Alt fell into your lap, you have your bookend offensive tackles for the next 12 years and who you consider your franchise quarterback with your last 3 first-round draft picks. That's awful hard to pass up.
Point, huh?
And it is. Yeah. And there's been a lot of people that have been asking. I understand the allure of these wide receivers, and I totally understand it. And you want to have more firepower. But please don't forget that this draft is loaded with wide receivers.
Yes,
and it
sir.
falls off of a cliff at offensive tackle and at edge. So if you don't get your guys in those positions early, then you're gambling. You're flirting with fire. I can get you a starting wide receiver in this draft, in the 3rd round, and in the 4th round this year in this draft. I can't guarantee you that I'm doing that at edge or offensive tackle because they literally fall off a cliff. That's why I mean, if I cannot, man, if Alt was there at 9, I don't know how you don't take it. And I hate Notre Dame.
It's almost it's almost, I don't know, maybe unfair, my next question, but Steve and my dad, what would you rate higher or more important? Would it be an edge rusher, which also drops off, or an offensive tackle that also drops off?
I think it's your needs. Right now, you're drafting a number 1 quarterback, and your offensive line is not stable yet. Would you say that?
Oh, there's
a
ton of question marks.
The best guy available, and that's got to be him.
Yeah,
so you would take an offensive tackle.
I think the way you have to look at it too is when you're looking at Braxton Jones, he's clearly got his warts, but he's also not awful. When you're looking at a guy across from Montez Sweat, it's crickets over there right now at this point. Yeah. So
I think it's based on, like what Coach O says, based on your needs, and we're specifically looking at the Bears. And like you said, Braxton Jones isn't the worst. Obviously, you want to upgrade if you can, but if we're looking at, hey, is he serviceable over there? Yes, he is. That gives you that, hey, we got him. He's been there. He's, we drafted him in the 5th round. He's kind of held it down somewhat, and you still had the potential for him to possibly get better. And you got an edge rusher there. And like you said, there is crickets over there. You don't know what you got on the inside quite yet. So if you have an opportunity to enhance that pass rush that needs, you can't just stop at Montez Sweat, what he brought to us when that trade down. You got to keep getting better. So if you're in that position, if you've graded out these guys, and you need the edge rusher, you got to go get the guy if he's there, in your grade that he's the guy at 9, Dallas Turner or somebody. So it's all based off needs and what the particular situation calls for.
Beyond pick number 1 being Caleb Williams, to me the easiest call that I see in the first round is at number 8 being Dallas Turner to Atlanta, with the way that they've went out and they brought in Darnell Mooney. They just traded for Rondell Moore. How they pulled that off with Ritter is beyond me, but they have to go. They have to absolutely are going edge. And to me, I think they'll pull the trigger on Dallas Turner myself, but it's, again, we fall into this trap. Everybody, they're not going to be there. They're not going to be there. Well, there's a very likely probability for the first time in NFL draft history, quarterbacks going number 1, quarterbacks going number 2, quarterbacks going number 3, quarterbacks going number 4. So then what do you do from there? Now you have 3 top wide receivers in Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, and Rome Odunze. So that's 3 more. So now you're at pick 7.
No, you're at pick 8.
Well, you've been through pick 7. Yeah, you've been through 7.
So you're at
now
8.
You're at pick 8.
You're 1 away.
But this is the thing. For it to be quarterback, that's going to involve somebody coming up. And it depends on, if Arizona or New England bounce down, we'll see. I think Minnesota, I think, is going to be in the top 4 by the time draft day comes around. I would agree. Make that guarantee.
Or where's Minnesota have 17? Was it?
No, 11 and 23.
So say people, whatever, Atlanta wants their guy. Now JJ McCarthy or whoever put there is at 9.
Yeah,
the Bears. Could you trade? You're not going to see that happen.
No.
Okay.
These guys are going. Phil, there's JJ McCarthy is going to go higher in this draft than Jaden Daniels. Mark it down in pen right now.
I will spoil alert that after reviewing all of the quarterbacks,
well, my thoughts on
JJ McCarthy.
I told you that a long time ago.
Number 2 quarterback.
I agree.
Sorry, Timmy Hasselbeck and
not ready to play yet.
0-1 Dan Orlovsky against Coach O's Lyman Hall Trojans. I don't know who taught Dan Orlovsky to watch tape and comes away thinking Caleb Williams tape isn't that impressive. Clearly doing it for the clicks, as Steve pointed out. Hell yeah, Big Steve, says Winnebago 95 for $1.99. Excited that Big Steve is on the pot. The Tape Never Lies Network, Monday nights here, the Bear Down with Big Steve. It's going to just add in the fall. We're going to have obviously the Super 16 poll show right after that. Ivan's show, another Bears podcast, another Bears show. Bears Hour Live, keeping it 100. We continue the process. Tip jar, $1.99. Thank you, Adam Jenkins.
So Phil,
Shane is pulling one round, just one.
Well, so here's the thing, and I just did this while you guys were talking, and
Okay, here we go.
in the
Joe Alt is there.
and Joe Alt is there. So this
Joe
is how it went.
Let's see.
Caleb Williams went number 1 to Chicago. Drake May number 2. New England stayed put.
JJ McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy.
Got him, Dad.
Marvin Harrison goes to the Cardinals. Malik Neighbors to the Chargers, who obviously need a wide receiver now. Jaden Daniels is going to NYC, technically New Jersey, but so I don't see any way that Tennessee's going wide receiver myself, but in this instance, they did. Dallas Turner, the guy we've been talking about, goes there. So this leaves Joe Alt available for the Chicago Bears at number 9, along with Brock Bowers. I don't think that the Bears have put, I don't know, about $40 million in guaranteed dollars into their tight ends. So I don't think that that's a move that is in play for them to be involved with Brock Bowers. But if that's the way that this fell on draft day, I mean, you're going to be offered some trades, but man, I'd be really hard pressed to not come away with 2.
I gotta
foundational building blocks.
I think you're gonna get some if it falls this way and you got Joe Alt right there, you're about to get some, and we talk about this a lot can happen at number 9. We're still in play. This number 9 is not your normal number 9.
Right.
You're gonna be in play for some trades. Now, obviously, you got to be very smart in that we're not passing up somebody who could really help our team out like Joe Alt, but it's a tough one.
Who else is there, Shane? Fasano's obviously there.
Something, you can't be fooled into that. You're thinking about something else. You got to remember, what are your needs? If that's your need, you go and get them.
Yeah, Jared Verse.
Going to be there for 12 years.
Yeah,
you're not going to have a problem with him. He's going to teach the other guys how to be better.
Yeah, so they have Positional as their 18th ranked player, and there is a lot of talk from a lot of people that have Tyrese Fuaga ahead of Positional at offensive tackle.
Yeah.
But
could you, in this scenario, could you trade down and still get your boy from Penn State? Is there a way to do that?
Oh, yeah.
I believe you could.
100%.
That's why I asked that. Yeah. I don't know, their rankings versus our rankings.
Well, let's just say, so, I mean, if you want to, I don't know.
We want to recoup that second, right?
Yeah.
If you fell like this and you identify, okay, like for me, Bowers versus Alt, Fasanu. Who's the other one? I saw him.
Fuaga.
And there's one other guy. Yeah, Fuaga. Those guys are there. That says to me, okay, where does Ryan Poles? Where I have him ranked different. So that would say to me, okay, for me, it would be Fasano would be ranked here or Verse. I love Jared Verse.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a, I mean, you can, like, Minnesota is interested in moving up 2 spots. The Colts at 15, Cincy at 18, the Rams, the Steelers, the Cowboys. There's 9 teams that are interested in moving up to 9 with you. So, and you have to remember, so you're at pick 9, and in 2021, the Chicago Bears were drafting 20th overall, and they went from number 20 to number 11, and they gave up a future first-round draft pick to the New York Giants when they went up to get Justin Fields. So if you're willing to go down there, then you're talking about an extra first-rounder in the hopper for next year, where you would have 2 1s next year and also 2 2s. But I just think when you have Caleb Williams in tow, all of these moves right now, I think you're looking upper crust, top end, top flight, blue chip talent, rather than acquiring more in a draft that can kind of drop off. I mean, there's some positions, but it's
you'll see debate. It's crazy what you'll see, what kind of magic polls, if he was in this situation, can work, because a team would come off a nice pick just to move up. If there's a guy there they like weren't even expecting to be there, and just to move up a couple slots, and that puts you down a couple slots, and maybe our guy from Penn State is sitting there. Those are the scenarios that's going to be very interesting. But I weigh the board. I'm looking at the board here. I think, what if you have Dallas just not in this board, but just I'm just kind of seeing if you got Oduze and Dallas Turner, what do we do there? What do you guys think? If we're in that situation, poses in
I
that
would
situation.
I think you have to take the pass rusher. I really,
yeah. It just the way that this
bursts and
the way that this team is constituted right now, and the way that this draft is set up. And I know it kind of goes against what I said. I was more so talking about the offensive tackle specific. I feel like I can get you another wide. And let's not forget that our top two wideouts are DJ Moore and Keenan Allen right now.
Right, exactly.
Our guy across from Montez Sweat, who we invested in, is Angelo Joe Marino from Wallingford, Connecticut.
How you doing, Coach?
Hey.
He called me today. Wish me a happy St. Patty's Day, all you Irish. I wish you.
So, like I was just doing right here. Now, if you did go down, this has about a 72% chance to go through. You could move down 9 spots to get their second and third rounders this year from Cincy, or you could potentially ask for their first rounder next year. Which
it's a great exercise.
Yeah, they wouldn't do, but I'm not even sure that it's
at this point, it's a long conversation. Obviously, Alt's there. You would be discussing. It depends on your board. And Sean Stewart, one of our patrons, makes a great point. We should do that next time. That the 4 of us are together, we can each take a team and draft for them and see how it goes.
Well, yeah, and let's just all right. Oh, so we only did the so we only did the 2. I was just gonna try to run it through to see who was available in round 3. Because then you can see how the edge is going to be barren and the wide receivers are going to be plentiful.
Well,
we have lots of time.
We got lots of time. And we will do mocks, and we will bring on patrons to do mocks and conversations. We're going to have special analysis and teaching of how to watch the tape.
Yeah, and watch. And Mike, I don't think it stops you from that either, but you have to kind of look big picture. And they don't have a pass rusher right now.
Yeah,
you're getting you have an opportunity at.
Is it DeMarcus Walker? Is it Dominique Robinson? Are you going to right? No, that's what I'm saying.
Dominique Robinson thing is
there's nobody there. You go out. To me, it's easy. He's not a guy that's going to. He's not a full-fledged starter, but he's a very good depth piece. Like Dana from Kansas City, I would be all over him if I'm Chicago and free agency to bring him in, just to make him a part of the rotation. So
who would you think would want that 9th pick from you?
Oh, there would be the I don't know if the Jets have went out and signed Tyron Smith from Dallas. And they traded for Morgan Moses. So that's 2 tackles right there. But when you're talking about Joe Alt, there's going to be there was 12 on that mock exercise that I just did. There was 12 teams or 9 teams that were interested in moving up. You're getting a 21-year-old franchise left
9.
Yeah, he's. I don't have to look. I would imagine the Penn State tackle is probably a great one too.
Yeah,
we're gonna look at the
6'9".
He ain't 6'9".
No, Fashanu is not. He's just Fashanu is not the killer. He's extremely athletically gifted, more so, and that comes down to that's what the separator is for me. I just love Alt's demeanor. He's the guy that's going to put you through the ground. He's going to say, fuck you, I'll be back in 40 seconds to do it again. And then he'll go do it again. I just love that. To me, I think about him and Darnell Wright as the bookends on this on this team, and it's like, oh man, I haven't had that.
We're gonna break down.
It doesn't solve your pass rusher though.
Nope, not at all. It doesn't, and there you go.
It could. You can get 2 with 1 if you traded 9 to get a tackle. Or,
well, but here's the game that you play, and this is the thing. So if Tennessee is very, very high on Joe Alt and high on Fuaga or Fashanu, and you know that, let's just say Dallas Turner is going to go at 8, then you talk to Tennessee and say, well, you're guaranteed one of these guys at 9, but I'm going to lose Dallas Turner at 8 to Atlanta, so I'm going to flip you a 4 to move up 2 spots. I'm going to take Dallas Turner. You're going to come back and get your offensive tackle at 9, because we've seen Chicago do that before. They did it in 2015 with Tampa. They could have sat and taken your guy, Phil, the offensive tackle.
Who was it?
Oh, it was your favorite guy there, the guy that had the gas mask on before.
Laramie Tunsil. That's when I thought they were trading up for him.
But the Bears had gotten intel that the New York Giants were going to draft Leonard Floyd, so the Bears got on the phone with Tampa, jumped the Giants. They moved up 2 spots, flipped them a 4, and they got their guy at the time, Leonard Floyd. But so there's a ton of scenarios here.
There's a lot of stories you could tell. Phil and I have a story. We were watching the left tackle for Ohio State, right? He was picked ahead of the kid Jones. Well, after watching that film, it was Jones that we thought was the better player.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about Paris Johnson and DeJuan Jones.
Yeah.
DeJuan Jones. Yeah, that's how we started the show with Big Steve.
That's right.
We all loved DeJuan Jones. Steve actually got to talk to Ryan Poles about that, and Ryan Poles like, bro, I love that kid, but they were worried about what Shane had said about the time was is he going to embrace the business side of this, to take care of his body, and get paid and not give.
They showed up.
That was the worry.
The NFL GMs and front office showed up to the Ohio State Pro Day, and everybody was working out, and DeJuan Jones was standing over on the sideline eating food and high-fiving guys, and he wouldn't even weigh in because he was around, what they say, like they assumed that he was going to come in around 370 at the time at his pro day last year. So that's
he is. Even watching him in the NFL, he throws around to NFL players like they're, I mean, that kid, if he's in it to win it,
he's gonna be a dominant force. I mean, just the force he was throwing guys around, you just knew it was going to relate to the NFL, and it was a matter of if he was going to want to. And it's still up for debate. You know, NFL presents, you get money, and it presents a lot of different challenges in the off season. How will he manage this off season? You know, with money,
Mickey Mouse,
you go to all the steakhouses that you want to, and you know, and go have all the fun that you want to. Are you dedicating your body and you know? So it's the I think the book is out, but no doubt about his talent and his dominance. He showed it this year. So that was the thing, Ryan Poles. I mean, when I met him out there and went up to him, he was just. I said, "Hey, man, what you know?" This is after the draft, you know. I said, DeJuan Jones, what did you think, man? He's like, watch film. He's like, yeah, dude, there's no denying. He's a first round talent. He's a first rounder, not talent, first rounder without the off the field stuff. So what we saw, we evaluated that day, we broke it down. It was true. It's just the off field stuff.
He worried you.
Yeah, that's
real quick before we wrap up here tonight. TTNL, we've opened up our Patreon. This is Draft Mob, the first one technically of the offseason. Obviously, we've done a lot. Sean Stewart and Dad, I want you to answer. Orlovsky is on ESPN, obviously, and he's puffing out his chest. He's got this position now, and he's saying Orlovsky's point about Caleb Williams' game doesn't transfer to the NFL, but he thinks Jaden Daniels' game does.
I say the opposite. I don't think Daniels is the guy that can do this. After
Right.
watching the film with you on Daniels, I was number one Daniels for me until I
Right.
watched that film and realized that he throws a great long ball, but everything else, he's a great runner. But in between, he's not. Misses too many throws and throws to the wrong people sometimes.
It's amazing to me where these guys come up with this stuff. To say Caleb Williams' game doesn't translate to the NFL is like saying Michael Jackson wasn't a great performer. That's how asinine it is. And that's really the truth. I've never seen a quarterback so NFL ready.
The best analogy is there's a guy in the Chiefs uniform. You take a look at him. Is he not ready for the NFL?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the guy that's doing. He looks like he mimics him.
Yeah.
The throws he makes.
It's
Sideways, underhand,
sideways, underhand.
left hand.
Remember the left hand throw?
Yeah.
The left hand throw. Yes. And that's why Shane said, Adrian, he reminds you of Justin Fields. Although
Jaden Daniels, yeah.
Jaden Daniels throws a better deep ball. That's why we watch the tape for truth here. And again, I'm just selling you on embracing, become a patron, thetapeneverlies.com. You're not going to get a fraud who's copying, pasting somebody else's analysis and putting it into a freaking point spreadsheet and a slideshow. What you're going to see is what you saw tonight. We looked at Joe Alt. We come away with knowing that Joe Alt is definitely a top-tier talent tackle. And this is why. Great feet, power at the point of attack, great athleticism. For 6'9", he looks like he's 6'3", moving around.
Yeah, the way that he moves, yeah.
And
he changes his body angle from standing up, making contact, to dropping back down to explode again.
Exactly.
That's a key thing.
Yep.
I think every one of you said that. You saw him drop down.
Yes.
That's where your explosion comes from.
Yeah.
Just
don't want our quarterbacks doing that.
Hold on. Used to. What gives you explosion?
Your gluteus maximus. Your ass.
I knew it was coming.
You remember John Madden saying,
yeah.
I could tell that guy was a good lineman by the size of his ass.
Yeah.
He's right. He's right.
MFFY.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
I don't want to say it and get your dad fired up, but
can't get my dad fired up tonight.
Well, with that being said, Phil,
we had a great night. Shane, we're wrapping up, right? We're gonna just be out after you play this, or are we coming back?
No. I don't.
We're
think
out.
Be back. Yeah, we're
all right.
Out,
that's what.
Yeah. I'll just roll our.
Listen,
tomorrow.
I just want to say something to Steve. Good luck with your show, and I hope you're very successful. I know you're gonna be.
Yeah.
Thanks, Coach O. Got to get you on, Coach O.
He's gonna have you on the show with him, Dad. He wants to bring you on.
Yeah, me and Coach O gonna be on there. We'll rock out.
If you can get me on.
Yeah. We'll have to get you that. We'll have to get you that warning placard to send out, Steve. We're technical difficulties because we're waiting for a guest to sign it.
Hey, I'm not a computer guy.
Oh man, the stories we have.
We'll
be back tomorrow night. Big Steve will debut. It's only a dry run tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Just want to technically and officially, just the tip tomorrow night with Big Steve. The Bear Down with Big Steve Monday nights. Adding to our plethora of shows, another Bears show with Ivan Vargas, and keeping it 100 every week. And patron tape analysis like nobody else. Okay, Shane. We'll see you then.
We'll get out of here. We'll let Optimus take us out, and then we'll do our final goodbyes to the other guy. But We're out of here. We love
Okay.
you guys. We'll see you
Love
soon.
you
Our
guys.
Bears fandom is united by a history long forgotten and a future we shall face together. I am Optimus Prime, and I send this message so that our pasts will always be remembered. For in those memories, we live on with our next quarterback, Caleb Williams.